Okay, this is my next project on my 2022 Winnebago Spirit. Upgrading and putting rear Sumo springs. I already did the front. I'm gonna go ahead and do the back. I'm gonna start unboxing and see what's included inside. This is the installation instructions. Comes in with a couple of stickers. And this should be a fairly simple job, not too hard. Just got to remove the old or the factory bumper that comes in and install that bracket and bolt the Sumo spring to the bracket. And this is for a Ford E350 or E450 2001 to present. And here are the springs, and it comes in with a spacer in case you have too much gap, too much space in between your chassis and your rear axle. You see the mounting hardware. We have two brackets here, and these are the brackets that mount to the chassis. So it should be pretty straightforward installation. And once it's installed, take some pictures or video and show how it's done. Okay. Okay, folks, we're here replacing the rear Sumo springs on my 22M Winnebago. Basically, I jacked up the rear just enough for some safety support, and I'm down here loosening up the factory bumper, which is a number 15 socket. I started it already, so let's get it all the way out. Okay, so I got the nut almost all the way out. Let me just try to do this with one hand. It's a little hard to record. Okay, I got the nut almost all the way out. And there's the bumper. We'll lay it here to the side. And this is the nut. Now our next step will be to put the bracket that came in and the Sumo spring. It comes in with a spacer that you could add in case you have I guess more gap in between your chassis and your rear axle here. But I don't think in my rig here I'll be using it. So we'll come back a little later. Okay, so this is the bracket that's gonna go bolted to the chassis, and then the Sumo spring will get bolted to the rear bolt on the bracket. So we'll go ahead and get it installed and show you after the installation how it looks. Okay, folks, this is the Sumo spring on the passenger side, which is, I think, is the hardest to put on because the muffler is kind of like close to it. It doesn't give you too much access. But I found out that putting the bracket first is a lot harder, so you just mount the Sumo spring first with the bolt on the bracket, and then just mount the bracket. And fairly simple. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. Should be simpler because I have more space in and around. So we'll show you the whole complete installation once it's done. Okay, so this is the spring for the other side. Like I said, this is the bracket. It goes on the rear's hole as per instructions, and it gets torqued to 25 foot-pounds. It's easier to install it now and then just install the whole bracket with the Sumo spring installed and just torque the one up in the chassis. It's, like I said, fairly simple installation. We'll go ahead and torque this and install this one and show you the whole complete installation once it's done. Okay folks, so this is the driver's side Sumo spring installed. I still haven't taken out the weight off the jack, so once I take off the weight, that should compress against the axle. This one was actually a little bit more harder. I had a fuel line here in the way, so I basically had to go with a straight wrench to bolt. But it was still fairly easy installation once you jack up the side and get enough clearance to install it. And then there's the other side. Sorry for the noise, I just started cutting the grass. But fairly easy installation. Okay. So here you go. Here's the Sumo spring with the weight off the jack, and you see that it's compressed up against the axle. So that should stiffen up my my rear end a bit. I'll test it out and find out how it feels, and I'll let you guys know. Okay, I'm out.